Hi everybody, it is Stacey Calder from the Business Success Network and magazine, but you know that because you're already watching on one of our channels. So you're either watching it live on our Facebook page, you're watching it live on my LinkedIn, or you're watching it on our YouTube channel, which is fantastic. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to bring James in a moment, and then what you'll see me do is you'll see me doing this, and it means I'm sharing it into all of our communities. So the Business Success Network currently has 10 communities that we have for different types of businesses, different locations and different industries. I'm going to be sharing this into there because that's where all the magic happens. And we want to make sure that James goes far and wide here. So if you see me fiddling with my phone, I'm not being ignorant. I am just getting that going while I bring in James. Who is our overall sponsor today. So James is the first of our overall sponsors. Welcome, James.
Welcome. Thank you for having me here.
You're just doing the same, aren't you? You're tinkering away in the background there. I could see it.
Pretty much, yeah. You caught me slightly off guard then. Apologies.
No, it's fine because so basically, and you'll get this because you're tech. Facebook have stopped all those third-party like StreamYard that we use here going into groups now. So I have to do it all manually. It has to come from the main page and then I have to go and share it in, which is a typically, well, we said no swearing, but it's a ball ache, isn't it? Let's face it. But you're here. You're our overall sponsor. You jumped in with both feet and said, I want to be a big part of the BSN awards in 2024. We are so delighted to have you as a sponsor. So tell us what 76 services are.
So we are an outsourced IT company. So when people work for a large corporate company, they'll generally find they've got an IT department there. So anything tech related at all, it's internet, laptop, office, all of that stuff, they'll go to that IT department. And then there's a team of guys there or girls that will be doing that. And small businesses don't have that luxury because that costs a small fortune. So we come in and we become that IT department for small businesses. So we learn how your business works. We advise what's best, what's right for them, sort of thing, and we help them fine tune their IT to work the way they want it to do. But as it's a shared service, then it's quite cost effective as well. So, and we do have a few large corporate companies that come to us for help as well, and they're saying, right, we're kind of a little bit stuck in this way. Can you help? Can you review? So we help them out as well. But we absolutely love working with small businesses and startups. So when you mentioned you were looking for sponsors for the Success Network Awards this year, we're kind of like, yeah, we love small businesses. Let's do it. It's an awards event aimed at small businesses. This is what we love. Let's get on. Let's get it sponsored. Let's be there. So yeah,
You're definitely going to be there with bells on by the sounds of it because you've got your table booked, you've got it secured. There's a whole table of you coming along. But I love what you said about, you love supporting small businesses, kind of your audience is small businesses. And it's very much, when we look at sponsors, when we look at all the sponsors, whether they're category sponsors, there's the next tier up or overall like you, they are all small businesses. And I think that's what makes this a bit unique because there are lots of awards out there, some of which have, very big corporate sponsors or banks behind them. And actually, whilst that's great and we'd love that, there is something really special about having small businesses supporting small businesses. So, yes, thank you for that. We love it. So where did 76 services come from then? Because if you were me, you'd be thinking, right, then they must have 76 different services.
Now, everybody always thinks that. So, and I always get told that I need a real fancy story about the name. Okay. And I'll be really honest.
I'm going to say I'm a bit of a Disney fan here. So my brain is working overtime, but I'll just see if there is a bit of a. Go on, you carry on.
So the logic behind 76 is a few people have said, oh, it's your year of birth, it's this, it's that. And I'm like, it's not my year of birth. Thank you very
Your
much.
Year of birth?
No, it's not. No.
You're not over 50.
No, that's generally, yeah, I've had that a few times. It's actually just my favorite number. There is no logic behind it. I just happen to really like the number 76. And I wanted the company to be called 76. Has absolutely nothing to do with IT. So, and then as I went through the data before we launched the company, we learned that most IT companies out there, there'll be double-barreled names. And most people shorten it to the first word. It's like, well, services, it's quite related. So, and it's quite nice. You can call people and go, "Oh, hi, it's James from 76." And I go, James from 76. So I got the name I wanted. Also, there's a rather large American petrol chain that is called 76. So, yeah, they tend to have registered that name everywhere legally. So we couldn't register 76 anyway. So,
Ah.
hence 76 services. Yeah, I mean,
So there
I,
we go. Nothing to do with Disney. Nothing to do with your year of birth. I can't believe
no.
somebody said that to you.
So, what's the Disney thing then? I'm very curious now.
Well, no, I was just wondering if there was a link and a number because you've got things like so. My daughter
Yeah,
can't see here is a big Stitch fan. Then you have like experiment number, and I was thinking,
626. Yeah,
is there a link? Is there something going on here? But no, I just wanted to bring in Disney into the theme, really, because you are magical. There we go. What about
so, and
that?
it's ironic you say Stitch as well, because all of our family are obsessed with Stitch, as well.
Well,
Always have been. He's probably the favourite Disney character in our household.
we
Oddly
have
enough,
we have a whole cabinet look full of Stitch.
yeah. I don't think I've got any. I've only got Sonic stuff in the office at the moment. I haven't got any Stitch stuff in the office.
Well, let's talk about what you have got in the office there, because I can see. So you have got some Lego there.
Yes, so we've got some of my little Sonic the Hedgehog Lego sets. We've then also, because we're currently giving away a rather large Lego set, the McLaren just here. I'm not going to
Right,
move it.
and
Don't
this
think it's
has
going to fall over.
been really popular. So tell people what they've got to do to enter, because we're big Lego fans, and I know when I shared this into the Business Success Network UK community,
Yeah,
it kind of went a bit. People were tagging each other in, and they were definitely entering, and you definitely got some Lego fans in there. So when does it? How do they enter? When does it run until? And we'll share the links. We'll drop the links on this as well to make sure that they can do that.
fine. So to celebrate being 2 years, we were 2 years old the other month. So to celebrate that, we purchased the Lego McLaren F1 set. Car was
Love
debuted
that.
in 2022, just like us, so 2 years old. So over at the website itsupporthenley.co.uk, it's literally just a quick form, fill it in, name, phone number, email address, free entry, free draw. Draw is tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. So
So you have
competition.
got less than tomorrow
God,
evening. You've got just over 24 hours. Come on.
yeah. So it's literally 24 hours to enter. Completely free. Just email address, phone number, name, fill in the form. We'll draw it all live on Facebook at 8 o'clock tomorrow. The competition actually closes at 7, so it gives me enough time to prepare the live draw. So yeah, if you can get itsupporthenley.co.uk and enter that, then yeah, as I said, completely
Brilliant.
free. Win a Lego McLaren F1 set.
I love Lego. I love F1. I love tech when it works. When it doesn't work, I ring people like you. Oh, that's brilliant. That is amazing. So, folks, if you've got any tech questions for James while we are live, please do drop your questions into the chat. In fact, even if they're not tech questions, if you've got awards questions, if you want to know how you can meet him, I don't know, if you want to talk Lego, drop your questions in. If you're watching this on replay, do let us know, #replay, and then we can come back and answer those questions. So I have just shared you, James, into all of the BSN groups. So you are currently in a lot of places right now, as well as on our main socials. So they could be popping up from anywhere. Who knows? Awards night then.
So yeah, awards night. We're looking forward to this. We are sorting out our giveaways to go in your goodie bag at the moment. Young Abby has been working on a few little surprises for that one. So I'm kind of intrigued to see. She's had a few thoughts, so I've kind of just left her to that now. So it's even going to be a surprise for me what comes out.
And this is amazing because we've had quite a lot of conversations about what you can do. And I love this. I love this when sponsors go, right, these are the opportunities that we've, been offered, that we've been given. And actually, let's do something. Let's really make this work for us because, it's always a two-way street. And it's like that mushroom effect, isn't it? We can promote you and promote you and promote you. But if you're doing it as well, it's like, wow, you hit both audiences. And you get remembered and you get recognized. We've had everything in goodie bags, from notebooks and pens. We've had bath bombs. Actually, that was a really funny story. We put bath bombs in our goodie bags. In fact, they weren't BSN goodie bags. They were from a previous company. And I sat there, and it was a tech company, actually. There was a lady there from a tech company who all of a sudden there was a big commotion, and she thought the bath bomb was a gobstoppery bomb. That's it, a bomb. And she wasn't drinking that night, so she tried to stop the foam with Coke. And if you know what Coke plus bath bombs do
I can
in
only
her
imagine.
mouth, well, let's just say when she came back for the second year, the MC remembered her, and so did half the audience. So always read the label. There aren't any bath bombs in there yet. However, there might be by the end of this conversation. Who knows?
Quite tempted now.
Yeah.
I
It's like
mean,
the Mentos challenge, isn't it? But there is some great things in our goodie bags. Obviously, you're really good at your merch. You can see it. You keep holding up your mug and drinking. You've got your uniform on. You've got your logo in the back there. So 76 services are everywhere. So we can't wait to see what you do. And of course, you're going to be there. Your team are going to be there. So when it comes to networking and drinking champagne in the reception, 76 services are going to be everywhere, aren't they?
we're going to be there. A few of our close partners coming with us as well, so we've invited them to our table. So we've got some very good small businesses that are down here that, whilst they might be small, they don't have the opportunity to go and network because they are quite small companies. So we've chosen to reward some of those and invite them along as our guests, which is absolutely
Amazing.
fantastic. Invite them onto our table as well. And I think that's part and part of the small business community, is working together. And lots of people, so one thing that detests me a lot is you'll see that some people turn and go, oh well, I don't want to go to this thing because there might be another, say, IT company there, or it might be one of my competitors. And I'm sitting there going, you don't have any competitors ever. You never have a competitor, you have a collaborator. So last week we had a big job going on, and one of our engineers rung in sick. So we're like, oh no, right, it's going to spill over into the weekend. So I've got another company that I work with locally, another IT company. On paper, you could class them as a competitor.
Yeah.
So I've called Simon up and I've gone, Simon, I've got this job on. What are you up to today? Have you got a bit of spare time? He said, yes. I went, right, can you help me out? Yada, yada, yada. We got a deal done. Bang, Simon's on site. And that's what a lot of people would class as a competitor. They're not a competitor. They're a collaborator. And in the small business world, you've got to look at these are new opportunities. So because of me, Simon gained more work. I gained someone else to join my team as and when I needed it. And yet, if people took that mindset where they go, oh, it's a competitor, we can't go and do them.
And the
No.
client's happy because they got the work, you got the work done.
Yes, yeah. So you've got to go and do these things. And I always say, go to all of these, go to as many networking events as you can do. And don't worry if there's someone that does the same thing as you, because they're not going to do it exactly the same way. They're going to do it slightly differently. Have a chat with them, see what's worked for them, what's not worked for them. You need to work together. And that's what small business is all about. It's all about helping each other. And so many people miss that out.
I love that. I am a big believer. You will hear me say collaboration over competition all the time. One of the new categories, in fact, this year was our children's activity provider category. Now, that industry it's a really growing industry at the minute. It's obviously great for future leaders. They're the ones looking after the children that are showing them all these different skills. And it started because we have our children's activity provider business success network community, and Rachel has been championing that industry. We had over 40 nominations, and I'm like, wow, this is incredible. 40 for one category. And the reason I'm saying this is because children's activity providers find a great way of collaborating with each other. Yes, they are in competition with each other. There might be different dance schools, there might be different STEM, classes and things like that. But actually, when they come together at events, they're really, really supportive of each other. And I think every industry should be like that, whether it's, you've said about the tech industry. And I do find the tech industry actually can be quite helpful, because I think that comes from your kind of your service. You are a service. You have to be helpful to your clients. You have to kind of do what you say you're going to do. But when it comes to each other, yes, there will be competition, but actually, having those people that are local, or even ones that are not so local, that if you took a job that is kind of almost outside of your area, you can utilize and they can utilize you. Hey, look, I've had people in marketing. Gary Jones, who does our podcasting, me and him for a very long time had a very similar business. And he would say, someone would say to him, in fact, they did, talk to me about hashtags. And he said, no, Stacey's got a whole course on it. Go and do that. And I would say to people, oh, you need to go and see Gary Jones. He's the techie, he's the podcasting person. Go and do that. So collaboration works really, really well. And that's what we're about here. So you are going to love these awards. I dread to think how many people by the end of it you are going to be collaborating with in some way or another, or have this huge fan base due to Lego giveaways and whatever's in the swag bags.
Well, this is it. So we're there to meet other small business owners. We like working people. We like hearing the struggles. I recently gave a talk at a networking event I attend locally down here. And oddly enough, lots of people, when they give these talks at networking events, are always like, oh, my business is doing so well. We've grown X amount and grown this and grown that. So we flipped the whole thing on its head. And we actually stood there and said, here's where we went wrong. Here's the mistakes as a small business owner we made. Here's where we lost out. Come and learn from our mistakes. It's amazing how many small people that were there that said, oh, I was just about to go and do this. I was just about to go and do that. And you're sitting there saying, well, don't do that. Save your money. Learn from the mistakes as well. Don't always celebrate the wins. Talk about the losses as well. Because this is one thing, as a small business owner, you're generally told you have to put yourself out there. You have to make everybody think you're doing amazingly well. And it's okay to turn around and say, I'm not doing well. I need some help. Am I doing the right thing? Because there are lots of people out there who would have done that mistake and gone, oh, I did this, I did that. Just last night, I was having a conversation with a chap whose target market in the entire country is probably about 40 people. Okay. He does a very niche thing. And he was asking me about SEO and everything. And I was like, well, there's no point doing SEO on your website. Your customer base is 40 people. Get a nice website there, then track those people down and call them. Put your money into finding them and cold call them. I went, you'll get a much better return rate because you're never going to know what they're searching for your services. Your service is very niche. They might not be searching for it. You could put thousands into AdWords, thousands into SEO, or you could spend a few hours on LinkedIn, Facebook, 118 directory inquiries, everything like that. Find them, find a phone number for them, where they're working, everything. You'll find it. Give them a call. Spend some time. Don't spend money, and you will get a better result. And do you know, I used to support, this is going back quite a few years, I used to do the IT support for a company called Innocent Smoothies.
Oh,
I
yeah.
sound like no one's heard of them. Most people heard
Love
of them.
their socials. Love
Yes.
their socials.
So
That
do you know,
stapler on floor 11. Oh, he's a naughty one, that is.
do you know how they got into the supermarkets? So they didn't have a big budget. They couldn't afford to get into there. So they found, I can't remember which one it was. I think it was Tesco's. They found where the buying manager lived. And they worked out the routes he would take to get to and from office. Okay. And then they bought all the billboard adverts just on that route. That was all their budget allowed. So all he saw was Innocent Smoothies as he drove to work. So eventually then he said to his guys, look, I keep seeing Innocent Smoothie adverts. So they just kind of plotted their adverts along the route. That was all they had the budget for. So then that was all this man saw. He was their target market, this one man in the whole country. No SEO, no cold calling, no nothing. Put those billboards up, get hold of him. He called them up and said, I want to buy your smoothie. Or one of his team did, I should say, really. But then they were in there. So it was a very targeted marketing thing. And lots of people try and do this broad marketing and go, well, I want to support all small companies. I want to do this. I want to do that. No, find your target market and go, now I'm going to find them and really find them. And Innocent are a great story. They have a whole explanation of it online. Just Google it. It's a much better story than what it was. But than what I've said now, I've kind of condensed it down into. But if you have a look at some of these stories where people have done these things, they've done amazing, and it doesn't cost that much money. And I think that's genuinely a lot of small companies will struggle now, is meeting businesses to do business with. And this is why I'm a big fan of networking and awards events like this one, because the target market for this awards event is small business owners. So even at this event, you're going to meet a lot of other small business owners, potential people you could collaborate with, potential clients even. I mean, please don't turn up there trying to sell, because it's an awards evening. We're there to enjoy ourselves. But at the same time, Ask for business cards. If you think you could help someone solve a problem they've got, ask them. Turn and say, I know you've got this
And this is
problem.
the thing, like they're going to hear stories from the stage. They're going to have RMC is really good at bringing people in and introducing people in the audience and picking out, the sponsors and the judges. And listen, we had a guy last year, Andy, who you'll love this, Beyond Bricks, his business is. And the MC had put an email out to every attendee via us to say, look, if you've got something to show and tell, bring it along. We'd got people bringing business cards. We had an ex-Scotland Yard forensic person. She had him dress the MC up in one of her suits, But then Andy bought a robot, and he got his 5 minutes on stage. It wasn't planned. He bought up this robot, and it does Rubik's cubes in 60 seconds, and he'd built it from like a Lego. It was just incredible. He had his moment, and he's now nominated somebody for this awards, and they're now a finalist. So you just don't know what you will get out of it, who you will meet. And I really like him. And I found out his story. He was one of the Lego ambassador type things for a while. Just incredible. And, he runs this business now, teaching children to love bricks and build things. Just fascinating. So, yeah, we're not selling, but actually there will be so many opportunities for you to run over to someone and say, hey, look, I've just heard your story. I do this. I think we should have a conversation. And there's your business card done.
Yeah. You'd be surprised at who you will meet and what their stories are. And there's so many people out there that you won't quite realize who they are. I was recently at an event and I just came back home and was sat there and I was like, oh, I was talking to this person. And then someone turned to me and went, well, that was the owner's best friend. And there's quite a large corporate company. And I was like, no. They're like, yeah. And then because I was having this conversation with chap and I was just helping him with his laptop. It was just a quick conversation. It was just having from just sat there, helped him out. Not sales, nothing at all. Just a bit of two people just having a chat. Oh, just do this and you'll find it easier, sort of thing. His best friend called me up, or the owner of this corporate company called me up and said, "Oh, you helped out a friend of mine. Can we have a chat? I'd like to introduce you to our IT manager." And so we're having talks about helping them out with a rather large project they've got going on. But it's meeting that person that you don't, whilst you're not trying to sell, that was literally two people having a chat. Then we've got a sales lead from that one. So just having those conversations, showcasing your skill to people in a friendly way, you will be surprised what will happen. And with these kind of things, you're going to have people that are sat there and I find it with health people. They'll turn around and say, oh, have you tried this as an alternative to your tea or coffee while you're having a thing? Or you might just be having a conversation and they'll say you put like 4 sugars in your coffee. So they go, oh, it's a lot of sugar. Have you tried maybe honey or something alternative? I'm not a health person. I'm quite an unhealthy person.
No, it's a great example. It is a great example. We had somebody in the room last year, and this is it. Even as the organizer, even as the person with the list of attendees, I don't always know who these people are and who that, people bring people. So we'd got a sponsor last year and she was bringing her husband, absolutely fine. In they walked. I felt he looked very James Bond in his white dinner jacket. And the RMC said, you know who that is, don't you? And I said, yeah, it's Fiona's husband. He said, no, it's Richard Moon, ex-professional rugby player, yada, yada, yada. We do a lot on BBC Radio together for the sports. And I'm going, oh, very nice to meet you. My son, however, was absolutely starstruck because he's a rugby player. He's 14. He was there thinking, I'm going to go and see what I get out of my mum's awards. It's always good to he's been brought up on networking and stuff. He was not expecting to meet, Richard Moon of England. And I want to say Harlequins. And if I get that wrong, I'm so sorry. I'm sure it was Harlequins.
I wouldn't have a clue.
But for my son, he's got some, he's got some assets now. He's got Richard Moon, some photos with him. And actually, when they went to the Six Nations the other week, they brought him back a signed program. So, it's not always about who and what like I said, I never know who. I know who's going to be there, but sometimes the names just don't register. So you never know. That was because his wife had sponsored our event. She's a small business within marketing. It was just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And they've become quite good friends now. So, yeah, you just don't know who is going to be in that room. And the best thing, ask. So, I'm going to say to you in a second, James, because we're running out of time. Who is it that you're looking forward to meeting? Is there somebody that you know that's going to be there that you think, right, that person? Or is there a type of person or somebody that you want to come up to you and go, hi, James, I saw you live. I fit the bill, or I want to meet you.
So I would say that people we're looking to meet and always come up and say hello. We are happy to talk to anyone. Any member of my team would love to talk to you. Come and fire a couple of quick tech questions at us. We don't mind at all. Come and have a chat. We're always happy to talk to people and help out people where we can. Particular people I'm looking to meet in person is, so it's a company called Social Media. I believe they won a few of your awards.
Sam, I can put
Yes.
you in. Yeah.
So I've known Sam now for a few years, and every time we've never actually met in person yet. Every time we've always gone to meet in person, something has happened.
Right.
Okay, and so I'm quite looking forward to meeting him and his team in person there. And I know they're up for quite a few awards again this year as
I
well.
think they're
So
up for a couple. Yeah, I think they won Team of the Year last year.
yeah,
I think I've off the top of my head, and forgive me, I could be wrong. It might be Business of the Year, and it might be Leader of the Year. I don't know. There's definitely a couple.
I was going to say I can't recall them all off the top of my head now, but yeah, it'll be quite nice to meet up with him. Once again, we have spoke many a time on the telephone, had many meetings, quite a few mutual customers and everything, and he's sitting there saying, and he's all the way in Wales, and this is one of the thing, it's you don't quite realise where your mutual customers lie and how they work, and we've introduced him to a few of our customers, he's introduced us, so you're sitting there going, we're doing business with a person we've never met.
We've never met.
They're technically, because they're Wales, we're England. He's in a different country almost. It's the same country. It's straight down the M4. But
You
it's
can't say that. You'll get me shot.
but it's one of those things, and this is what it's all about. It's about meeting people, so you never know who you're going to meet, and you can't always predict it because people turn around and say, "Oh, I know that person. You do that for so and so, don't you?" And you won't have ever realised it's there's a chap. Oh, I know you know him as well. My brain has suddenly completely gone to mush. He arranges DJs for quite a few.
Ben Kelly.
Yes.
Yes. So he is one of our sponsors as well. He'll be there on the night. Exactly. And this is the thing, isn't it? So we met through One Networking, which is one
Yeah.
of our silver sponsors. They are, so that's how we met. We were meeting on a Monday. Was it Monday? Monday or Wednesday? One of the two.
Wednesday. Yeah.
Wednesday. Yeah. So we were meeting. You start to find out about people. You start to have a conversation. This is where the online networking kicks in. You start to grow those contacts. And yeah, I've referred people to you. You've referred people to me. Ben is somebody that sits within One Networking and Business Success Network. This is where the collaboration stuff comes in. And Ben he's been a sponsor for the last 3 years. He loves it. He, exactly like you, loves to collaborate, wants to get in front of people, wants people to come and speak to him. So I'm really pleased that he's another person that you're going to meet. You're also going to meet the other overall sponsor, Nathan. Now, I don't
Yep.
think we've ever met Nathan yet.
No, we haven't met yet. Our paths have crossed a few times, different networking and that, and we've spoken before. And
Fab.
he's going
So
to
I
be
was going
great.
to say, you two are getting tagged into a hell of a lot of posts together at the moment. So
Because
there's definitely a conversation there.
He sponsored it before as well, hasn't he? So he's a
So
repeat
he
sponsor.
sponsored it. He sponsored it in the first year,
Yeah.
with a previous company. He's now gone independent, which is a great story. So he's back for the third year. So yeah, he did the first year. He's doing this year, as are you. So we've got a real lovely arrangement of sponsors, whether they are back for their third year, back for their second year, or brand new to this year. I love the fact that there is something for everybody. And I am going to mention, because you talked earlier about sharing the lows, the mistakes, things like that. And actually, one of our judges for this year, Anna, she shared a fantastic post the other week, and it's completely against the grain. So everyone at the minute feels like they have to share how well they're doing, how much money they're earning. You know, you're seeing like commission slips and all sorts, and it makes me feel a little bit icky. So what I loved about Anna was she put a post up telling everybody how she lost £250,000. So that immediately caught my eyes because I thought, you're zigging when everyone else is zagging. I like that term. And you're sharing with people what you did, how it went wrong, how you've recovered, and more. So that for me was a great reason for her to come on board the judging panel, because she'll see those highs, those lows, and it comes from a place of, do you know what, I've been there and we've worked through it. So yeah, I really loved what you said about that. I think it's really important that people that have gone before startups and things like that are sharing their wisdom.
It
So
is. It's a big thing, and it's as you said, we're all taught to sit there and try and brag and show off and everything, and it's not the case. We've all had small business for everybody is a roller coaster. If you read what you saw on social media and everything, everyone thinks small business just goes like that. It's just constant thing. You're on a constant up and down as a small
mm,
business owner. There's going to be stresses. There's going to be pitfalls, but everybody that's probably watching this is a small business owner, and everybody's going to be awarded. It's going to be a small business owner or work a small business. Would you want to get off that roller coaster? No. And did you know? I'll leave it on this little fact before we do finish up, because I know we've gone slightly over. That the
nice.
majority of people in this country work for a small business rather than a corporate. We are a nation of shopkeepers, always have been, and still are to this day.
I've got two very quick questions to ask you before we disappear, because I have
Sure.
kept you. I knew we'd talk. The
Oh,
first one is a sensible one. You do, and we've talked a little bit about, next generations coming through and that kind of thing. And you are really good at bringing young talent through your company, aren't you? So tell us a bit about that, and then we're going to end on, and people might think, what are you going to be wearing one of your suits?
so I sit on the digital employer boards for a couple of colleges in the local area. So the Buckinghamshire College Group and the Windsor Forest Group. The reason I got invited to join those is we are the largest private provider of T-level placements. Now, T-levels are a type of technical training very similar to A-levels, but part and parcel of that is they have to have a work placement. Okay, so we offer that out to students. We at any point could have 5 students in our office. They're generally in 1 day a week for about 9-10 months. So they'll get a qualification equivalent to 3 A-levels and had work experience. When they get into work field, they've got experience in their field. One of the reasons we did this is I always wanted to give back. Someone took a big chance on me when I was 16, so I wanted to pay that back, and I've been able to pay that back 20-fold to local community, local colleges, and new students. And that, and it's also been an amazing pipeline of new talent for us. Now, I'm going to use the story of our latest hirer because he doesn't mind me using his story. So, young Lewis, he came to us, and at the start of his placement, he said, "Well, I really want to get into video game design." So come the end of it, his final days, like, "James, I really enjoyed my time here. I know you've just hired someone, but is there any chance you're looking at taking on another apprentice?" And I sat there and went, "Do you know what? You have really impressed me the time you've been with me and everything." And I wanted to make something right for him. I said, "Right, when do you finish college?" He goes, "Oh, it's in July." And I was like, "Right, leave it with me. Let me work something out." So I got home. So I had a chat with my business partner, my wife. We sat down that night. We run the numbers. And we were like, "Do you know what? Yes, we can offer him something. Let's give him a part-time job now." So I gave him a call. He was so over the moon. It was absolutely amazing. So he comes into with us 1-2 days a week now, depending on workload. And then in July, he starts full-time as an apprenticeship. Now, he would have never realized that this is a career path he wants if it had not been for that placement. And also, we would not have got him as future talent as well had it not been for that placement. Now, these T-level placements, they're actively promoted by the government. So I would say reach out to your local college and get them. You can get some fantastic talent in to come in and help out. These students are raving looking for this experience, so you can give that to them and give back to your local community, and you'll be surprised at some of the ideas that they come up with, and you go,
Mm,
Wow. So if you want to read a little bit more about that one, I would say Google the Digital Skills Barometer report. It's a report published by the Department for Education in collaboration with us as well. And then that's going to tell you more about the T levels and the next generation of technical training in this country.
That's amazing. So that was all the technical stuff. That was all this, we wanted to share that because you are really kind of at the forefront of that. And I'm glad you mentioned that government paper there because, I know how amazing that's been for you. Something a little more lighter now, your networking suits. I don't know if to call them amazing, atrocious, hideous, fabulous. There are lots of words around them. Are we going with the traditional black dinner suit or are we going to be, finding a James special?
So I have two choices for the evening. Right, I have the traditional black dinner. So I'm a member of Roundtable. So yeah, we attend quite a few black dinner events. So as part and parcel of that, I do have the traditional black dinner suit. Now I am, as you've alluded to, not known for wearing traditional suits, shall we say. I do have one very special one that I have actually kept in reservation for the awards, and it has been sat in my wardrobe, much to my wife's annoyance as to the amount of suits I now own.
I have to say, every time I see photos of you at a networking event, I'm thinking, I'm almost, I don't know if I want to look because I'm not sure what he's going to be wearing because there are some very interesting choices.
So, the suits came from a marketing perspective and being known for them and standing out. Peacocking. So, same thing as a peacock.
Absolutely.
It's great feathers, and it's worked for us. It's been a great different thing. You kind of you get known more for the suits. I'll be really honest with you. And it is funny when people come up to you and go, "Oh, you're the guy in the suits. You're dressed in normal clothes today." I'm disappointed. You're like,
it confuses people. It does. It confuses people. If you're always in your brand and then you're not, people are like, "Whoa, what?"
Yeah, and it has been. Yeah, I've met people and they go, "Well, you're not James." I'm like, I am James. I'm just plain James.
Yeah.
So today I'm plain James for this one. But no, the suit will be a surprise on the night, depending on which one I choose. So I'm not going to give anything away about it.
Depends whether your wife's going to be there or not, I reckon, as to who she wants to walk around with. Which James is she going to go with?
So, yes.
Oh, that's amazing. James, I could talk to you all day. In fact, I've already spoke to you for 37 minutes. Where can people find you? Drop me details and we'll pop them on the links as well. But just do let people know where's the best place for them to come and find you. If they've got a tech issue or anything like that, you are very good at helping small businesses that haven't got tech departments or maybe that have and they need that extra outsourced support. So tell everyone where they can find you.
So I would say the quickest way to find us, depending on where in the country you are, is to either give us a call on 01494 623 076 or just visit our website 76services.co.uk. There is a callback request button on there as well if you'd rather someone calls you back, or form if you're not. I know the younger generations generally don't like using telephone now, so we're quite happy to chat over email. If you prefer that one, that's not a problem at all. Or however you prefer, if it's Facebook or WhatsApp or that, we are contactable on every social media out there. Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Fabulous. That's the best way to be. James, thank you so much for joining me. If you are and ahhing about awards, if you've not bought your tickets yet, if you're a finalist and you haven't bought your tickets yet, you really need to hurry up because they are selling fast. And we don't want people to say, "Oh, I was going to buy a table," and there'll be no tables left. So do get your tickets in because James he's honestly, he's got his whole table. I won't be surprised if he has another the way he's going, to be honest. But there we go. Come along, come and network, come and have some fun. It's not a boring black tie stuffy event. It's a fun, supportive black tie event. Come and show off, come and dress to impress, come and collaborate, have some fun. Come and meet James. I always go the wrong way. Look, come and meet James. He wants to meet you, and let's just celebrate small businesses in the UK together. Thanks all for watching. If you're watching on replay, do #replay and get your questions dropped below. Thank you, James.
Thank you for having me. Cheers all. Bye-bye.
Bye.